Hey guys, I want to come on here and talk about 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, and this is episode 3. I didn't get episode 2 to you guys because I had some issues with my computer, so I'm going to try to just do a quick run through of both that episode and this one. And the thing of it is with these episodes, unless you DVR it, you're actually watching more ads than show. What they really do is they unnecessarily prolong the show by showing like 50,000 ads when they could just move on with it. But in the last episode of the show, you basically had the same thing that kind of ran into the first one, with them planning to go out to see their respective people. Rebecca decided to leave to go see Zaid. Avery decided to get on a plane, and she lost her phone going to see Omar. And then the other dude, I forgot his name, he gets ready to go see Jennifer in Colombia, and they still hadn't at that time introduced Kenny and Benjamin. They briefly did it, but they didn't go over their stories. They did that in episode 3, and so that was basically what happened in episode 2. I do want to point out the situation with Seether. Let me tell you, Seether is sad. Seether is sad, and with every passing episode, his story gets more and more pathetic. He went out with a friend to buy a ring. Okay, so he decides to spend $200 on this ring. He's spreading himself thin. He's such in a cloud of delusion, it's not even funny. It really is not even funny. He's in such a cloud of delusion. The friend asked him about Maria, and he showed her a picture. He showed his friend a picture of Maria, and his friend was straight up and real with him and said, "So you don't think that she's talking to somebody else?" And do y'all notice that he has like a blank stare on his face? Like his eyes will be all glazed over. He'll be sitting there, just chest just going up and down, breathing. He looks like he's in a hypnotic state when it comes to her. And it's just ridiculous, really. It is. Like, something in him has to be telling him that she's not into him, and he's just ignoring it, choosing to believe what he wants to believe. But in this third episode, he said that hope was the only thing that he had to go on. So for him, being into her is more like a religion. He's simply having faith that she likes him, despite the fact that she's giving him all of the evidence that she doesn't. Now I'm going to get back to Seether. I want to talk about Darcy, because in the second episode, Darcy basically, she was showing her friends the dude that she's meeting, Tom. And the thing of it is about Darcy is that she's overly emotional. She's very insecure. She tries to give this persona that she's not, but she actually really is insecure. The more I see her storyline, the more I'm telling you guys, she's not going to maintain any relationship. She's already getting up there. She's past the age of 40, and she just doesn't have the confidence that she tries to portray. She dresses well, she puts together well, but ultimately on the inside, she is just dying and starved from love, and she'll get it anywhere, really. She's just dying for somebody to love her, and she's going about it the wrong way, because nobody's going to love you when they see how emotional and damaged you are, and how you're incapable of loving yourself. Darcy's twin sister Stacy tried to talk some sense into her, because she notices a pattern with her in which none of her relationships really work out. But Darcy's not trying to hear anything. Darcy even allowed her friend to flirt with Tom and shake her titties over the phone in her face. So there's just a lot of issues going on with Darcy that she really needs to correct before she tries to get into a relationship. What she should be doing is getting off the internet, trying to get into relationships with older men, and focus on her daughters so that her daughters don't follow in her same footsteps. Now, I already told you guys with Angela, Deem, and Michael. Angela's still beating the same dead horse. Michael is still trying to get out of Nigeria and into America. It's so obvious that he doesn't like her, and rightfully he doesn't have a reason to. Angela is old, wrinkly, and washed up. She's like days old laundry that should have been washed a long time ago. But moving on to episode 3. So in this episode, literally, they are just touching down in the respective countries that they're going to. Rebecca gets to Tunisia to see Zaid, and then they have sex and she starts bragging about it. Avery got to Lebanon where her and her mom met up with Omar. Omar had gotten a hotel where he was at. Omar seems like he's pretty cool, actually. I hope their situation works out, but I don't know if it's going to. The American culture versus being in a Muslim culture is very hard to adapt to, and not many people are able to do it, because in America, as a woman, you get a little more respect than you do in different countries where it's highly controlled. You have to cover yourself up. You're beneath the man. The fact that it puts women beneath men to a degree that men are controlling how they speak, what they wear, what parts of their body they show. I understand that, there's a benefit to having some decorum. There's a benefit to covering up, but to have all of your body covered up just to appease a man, I don't really, or to try and help him tame his so-called primal desires, which he should be taming anyway. The whole point of men telling women how they should be conducting themselves in the world, while men go around conducting themselves unchecked, is not something that I agree with. Avery will eventually have that issue with Omar, even though she willingly converted on her own. Just the restrictions in how you can dress, for example, it's probably going to become a problem for her. She's saying that it's not now, but even when she went to go pick out a wedding dress, there's going to be an issue over how tight the wedding dress is as well. So that just seems like a dynamic that's just going to be very problematic. I'll be surprised if they actually make it. Darcy shows up to London and she goes into the bathroom so that she can fix herself. Tom has a car sent for her. Meanwhile, they flip back to a scene where you get to see what Tom was doing while she's traveling. And what he did is he rented an Airbnb, very nice one out there, so you can tell he's kind of well-to-do. He said he wanted to take the time to get to know her. He realizes that that's the first time he met her. They've been talking over social media, so he doesn't really know her in person, and he wants to get to know her as a person. He also talks about the access to other women that he has. So I think that Darcy isn't going to have a relationship with anybody. She's just not. And that relationship isn't going to work out. Darcy acts like a child. Emotionally, she is a child. She doesn't have the confidence of a woman her age that she should have. Because when Darcy gets there, she gets mad because he has her sleeping in another room. To some women, if a man isn't being overtly sexual with them, then they don't feel like the man likes them, and that's how Darcy thinks. So at this point, she has a very adolescent, juvenile mindset, even in regards to being able to recognize when someone likes her. If a man has to always be being physical with you for you to feel secure, then you really shouldn't be in a relationship. Now, I really want to get to this Caesar issue. Angela is always going to be old. Her womb is dried up. She's not having a baby for Michael. She can sit there and complain all she wants to and work overtime to get back to Nigeria. And nobody cares about that. She's chasing black dick, and that really is all there is to it. Michael don't take her serious. He shouldn't take her serious. She can't give him what he wants. He's just trying to get to America, and she act like she can't see that. A lot of these people, you can tell they're just convincing themselves whatever they need to convince themselves to get by, because it should be obvious that these people are not into you. You don't need to be on the same continent that they're on to see whether they like you or not. There's indications and there's signs. I don't care what nobody say. Angela is clinging to a little bit of hope that Michael likes her, when the reality of it is Michael's motivation is citizenship and Donald Trump. Michael wants a white man. He doesn't want a white woman. He's obsessed with Donald Trump, so he's not concerned about Angela and her old, dusty, expired, scrambled eggs. He's interested in getting to the country. But let's get in on Caesar. Y'all, I don't know if Caesar has any siblings. I don't know if he have a mom or a dad. Something's not right with him. But I will say this. What I don't get about Caesar, and this is why I don't feel bad for him. What I don't get about him is that why don't he take all that money that he's sending to Maria and the Ukraine Get a personal trainer and get a makeover so that he can attract somebody who actually likes him. Because how are you going to be a loner dude? You live alone. You apparently don't have any kids. Obviously, he can work to make the money. Yet he allowed himself to be highly unattractive, and not just his face. This man looks like he's 9 months pregnant. And that's one of the things that I can't stand, is when a man allows himself to be overweight. So he's not taking care of himself. He's sitting up here looking like a slob, thinking someone like Maria is going to like him. And Maria is not top of the line, but for him, she is top of the line. But rather than getting someone on his level, since he clearly doesn't want to level up, lose weight, put money into his looks, and really go attract somebody who actually likes him, he's running around chasing a woman who clearly does not like him. But what he's chasing, he's not chasing the woman, he's chasing the fantasy. It makes him feel good to think that someone that he believes is beautiful, outstanding, a woman that any man can get, is choosing him. Now, I think what's mostly attracting him to her is that she's white, because he could have took that same money and he could have found someone in Africa. He could have found a woman in Jamaica. He could have found any of them. But see, this is what a lot of these dudes do. What they'll do is they'll go chase women that are of another race and who are out of their league. This woman, Maria, does not like Caesar. All she's in it for is the money, and rightfully so at this point, because if after 5 years he doesn't understand that she doesn't like him at all, she's interested in doing whatever she has to do for that money, then that's just what it is. Apparently, Caesar stupidly gave Maria $2,000 and told her to go buy her own ticket, because he's full of hope, he's full of faith. You can tell he's a Christian because he has that hope and faith mentality going on. So he's full of hope. He's talking about he just 100% trusts her. She blows the $2,000, so he goes out and spends another $1,300 saying that he didn't pay his rent, he didn't pay his light bill. It's like, dude, you gonna come back and you ain't gonna have no house to come back to. If you don't pay the rent, you'll have an eviction notice. How are you? What type of genius gets up, don't pay their rent, and goes to Cancun thinking they're going to have somewhere to stay when they come back? TLC probably paid his rent for him. That's probably what happened. I don't know what you're going to do about that light bill, though. When that electric company come to shut you down, then what you're going to do? But because she spent the money, he goes out and spends additional money on her a ticket. He doesn't hear from her for 2 days, but still gets on the plane to go out and see her. This dude, after this show, a psychiatrist should pro bono give him counseling, because there is something deeply wrong with him. Like, he's so caught up in a delusion. He's not even close to being in reality. Like Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and any blind person can see that this is a situation that's not going to work out, but he can't. He can't see it. And watch, at the end, he's going to be disappointed. He'll be sitting there crying. But it's like, you have no reason. She's giving you every indication, every little tiny piece of evidence that you could have ever thought there was. She's been shown him that she wasn't for him, that she doesn't like him. But Caesar just keep on paying his money. He just keeps on giving his money, and it's so pathetic to watch. It really is. I'm honestly kind of wish that they could fast forward to the reunion, because I have to see how Sean Robinson and the rest of the cast goes in on him, because this scenario takes the cake. He can look more weak and pathetic if he tried, and I don't know what TLC's motive is for showing him in this light, but this dude is a mental basket case. He is pathetic. It's so sad to watch. You guys let me know what you think. That was the review for episode 3, and I will be doing episode 4 soon. Hopefully I can get out an early one, because they do an early premiere of the first half of it. So I'll look out for that and then do 2-part reviews since they do early ones. But thank you guys so much for the support. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll see you in the next one.